Good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from the great state of Maine. Want to talk today about buying a camp, or buying camp property, or all that stuff. I am a 30-plus year builder in the state of Maine. I built and worked on cabins all over the state of Maine. From, if you look on the map, from Rangeley, Maine to the top of the state. Coben Gore, all kinds of places. Flagstaff Lake area, you name it. If there was a camp there, I've been working on and everything, right down to the coast. You name it, wherever the job was is where I went. So I got a little bit of knowledge in this camp stuff. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be great. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon channel, that would be even better. So you're interested in buying a piece of property in the state of Maine. You know, that's going to depend on what you're looking for as far as hunting, fishing, hiking. You know, so if you're looking for a piece of property for hunting, I'm going to break this down into 2 or 3 different videos because it's too big of a topic. You know, you got the guy that's looking for a cabin for hunting. You got the guy that's looking for a good piece of property for hiking, or hiking trails, or biking, or he wants the coastal experience, or he wants a really cheap piece of property that he can afford. And then when he's got that piece of property, he wants to be able to build on it, anything he wants. And that opportunity is here in the state of Maine. And that's why this is a pretty big topic, you know, so I'm going to have to break that down a little bit. I'm going to go for right now, because it's what's in my comments the most, is how to buy a piece of property in the state of Maine. How do I build I had a question not too long ago, how do I get a permit to build a 200 square foot cabin on a piece of property? You had trouble doing that and all of that. So I'm going to talk about buying a quality piece of property, or one that's not quite so quality, more swampland. If you watch any of my videos, you'll see Beaver Creek Deer Camp on them. That's a series. If you want to go watch that, the name of the playlist is Building of Beaver Creek. Go check that out. It takes you from start to finish on how I built a cabin way back in the woods with nothing more than a wheeler as far as getting my materials back there, and now we hunt back in there, got tree stands, all that. So it's a great series on building something a mile, 2 miles, 5 miles back in the woods. It's all doable up here. If you're young and got a lot of gump, you can do anything you want pretty much. But let's talk about the guy that had the 200 square foot question. Maine is big and it's stretched out, so you got a lot of unorganized townships, and then you've got towns, and they both fall under 2 different categories. You would think in an unorganized township it would be easier for you to get a permit to build a piece of property. It's just the opposite. The unorganized townships generally, now maybe if you can correct me in the comments, have at it, be nice about it. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm just touching the edges here. A lot of the unorganized townships falls under what's called lurk. Now, I've been out of the building trade for about 10 years now. If that's changed, I don't believe it has, but if it has, it has. But anyways, they have their own set of rules and regulations for what you can build, how you can build it, and where you can build it. And it's pretty complicated. So I would stay away from that. Now, let's go to a small town. If you go to a small town in Northern Maine, like I built 2 cabins in a small town in Northern Maine just before I retired out of building. Now, whenever I built anything for customers, I would tell them the first thing you need to do is go down and talk to the town office and get a building permit, because that saves me the legwork in doing it. And I give them the paperwork, they go down, they make friends with the town office, and they're well on their way to getting established in a new town. That's one of the first places to go if you want information. And I would do that before you purchased a piece of property. If you're looking for an easy time of it, go talk to the town office. Now, I'm telling you this to tell you that. Telling you that to tell you this. Some small towns, like this town that I built these 2 timber frame cabins in, there was no permits to build a building. None at all, 0. The first guy went in, talked to the town office, and said, I'd like to build a cabin, this is the dimensions. And my builder said I needed to come in here and get a building permit. The guy behind the counter said, you own the property, right? Yes. He said, then do what you want with it, have fun with it, there are no permits. So, when he came back and told me that, I told him, build as much as you want, as quick as you can, before they change their mind. So, but that's not the first town that I ran. And the second guy, the same deal. He went in, talked to the town office. You know, it was 3 or 4 years apart. Went in, talked to the town office, and still no building permit. And I've been in a lot of towns that was the way. I don't believe that is the way in any unorganized township. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know everything about this stuff. Could be wrong. So if you know something different, spill the beans in the comment section. And if I like it and it fits good in this video, I'll pin it to the top. Nothing like passing on information. That's what these videos are all about. So for the guy that had that question, you know, is there any way around getting a building permit for a building that size? That's my answer. Go find yourself when you're searching for property, and don't buy the first piece you go look at. You know, when I was looking for property with a rustic log cabin sets, we looked for. I drove every weekend for weeks, and we would try to look at anywhere from 2 to 3 properties. Most of the time we couldn't get to the third piece, but we could look at 2. So I could make the trip in a day, drive up, look at 2 pieces of property, and then come back. And I forget how many weeks we did that. It was a bunch, and it was really quite tiring because they were full days. You know, you figure you leave bright and early in the morning, got a 4-hour drive, look at property, and I wasn't looking for buildings, I was looking for property. I was looking to be able to build my own property. I mean, build my own cabin. But I got lucky enough and stumbled across the rustic log cabin, which is 15 by 18, setting right on the ground. It had had very little maintenance. It had been neglected for a lot of years. So I could purchase it for the same amount of money that it would cost me to buy land, put in a driveway, and build the cabin. So that's how I ended up with the rustic log cabin. So that's and you could do the same thing. I mean, I don't look at property now because every time I look at property, I want to say, you know. But anyways, that's how we ended up with that. And one of the things that you can do, and again, I'm not sure when it comes to, I don't know every rule that's on the book there with lurk and all of that. But one of the other things that you can do with a piece of property is you don't have to come up here and build a cabin right away to start enjoying the great state of Maine. You can come up here, get a hold of a local guy, get your driveway in, get a nice level pad put in so that you could haul up a camper and stay that way, or you could put in a tent pad, build a small deck to put your tent on, different stuff like that to be able to enjoy your piece of property. I say that because I have looked at land like that in different parts of the state of Maine, where if it's only an acre, you know, you don't need 100 acres up here or you don't need 50 acres or 20 acres to come up and enjoy the state of Maine. If you own 1 acre of land, you own 10,000 acres of land. And what I mean by that is, as long as it's not posted, the land's not posted, I mean, you got 1 acre in amongst a million acres that you have access to for hunting and fishing and all of that. If it's posted, well, then you got to get landowner permission, stuff like that. But with 1 acre of land, you're paying taxes on 1 acre of land, and you get to enjoy that portion of the state. So I've looked at that. Like, I would like a piece of property up in Allagash Village. I know I would like no more than 1 acre of land up there. And it's basically because if we did get drawn for the moose permit, it would be nice to have a gravel pad and a spot for a small camper during moose season. So you can come out to or even bird season, anything. It's all good hunting up there, moose, birds, coyote trapping, all of that stuff is great in Northern Maine. So having just a piece of, and then there would be no tax bill. You know, and that's the other thing. If you get into some of these little towns, the tax bill can be quite small. Beaver Creek tax bill for me is $100. It's $100 per year. So that's great. I mean, you pay your taxes and you don't feel a thing. The tax bill at the Rustic log cabin is $300. So $300 for the year. That's another great opportunity to own a piece of property with such a small tax bill. So this right here video is talking about building a cabin with a small tax bill, as also building without a permit, stuff like that. If this will be a playlist, I will name the playlist buying a piece of property, or you want to own a cabin, something like that. I haven't come up with a name yet, but this is the second video along this line of thought. So I will build a playlist for you guys. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that playlist. And I will go over a video every now and then about this. Next one will be, let's see, well, I lost my train of thought. Cut. Yes, the next one will be about locating that piece of property around different things of different interest, that type of stuff. So that's what our next video will be about. Location, location, location. So have a great cup of coffee. Thank you for you guys did a great job watching that last video on buying a piece of property here in the state of Maine. That video has gone bonkers. So thank you for taking the time to watch it, because it does take a little time to put these things together. So I'll see you in the next video, and we'll talk about location. Have a great day.